Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I'm here today with another flip through of a flea market style traveler's notebook. This one is called You Must Sit by the Toadstool, and the focal point is this beautiful owl, and there's a bit of sign language stamping. The back is very fun collage. This moth is kind of the focal point. It has a fabric spine and it is a 3-hole binding. There are metal eyelets to close it with this vintage seam binding that is piped. This is going to be another of my flea market style traveler's notebooks that will be in my Etsy shop if you're seeing this video. There will be a few more coming after it. So in the inside you'll see a bureau style folder here with lots of collaging inside and out, so the whole cover is collaged. Then we have this journal card on the inside. This is from a magazine, and there's just bits and bobs of different things: dyed paper, book spine, washi tape. It's just a fun rustic feeling card. And then on this side we have a vintage photo tuck of these two people in a canoe. These are 1970s. This is a 1970s photo. And then it's on this fun pink paper. And this is a journal card that I made from a vintage children's book with this robin who's got a basket of letters here, or a bag of letters. Then on this side we have a decoupaged napkin. This is actually a vintage napkin, and a floating pocket in this fun scrapbook paper, and it has music at the back, and then this piece of stationery on the inside. And it just clips on here. Then this is a fabric flip with some fun fabrics here, and it's on some vintage graph paper. Let's just lay that back down. And then we have this dove at the center of a collage and some stenciling, and then a really fun children's book page. And on this side, a pocket that says kaleidoscope. And inside we have this grumpy little gnome journal card inside this altered envelope with mushrooms and botanicals, and it has an acetate window. There's writing space here, and when you take the little gnome journal card out, you can see that there's another background that's kind of fun here. This is vintage Brazilian crochet blueprint, and then this is the journal card. And it just pops right back on in the envelope. And then you see our grumpy little gnome friend again. This is sort of a peekaboo page. The flowers are cut out, and more blue paper. You can write here and on the blue paper. This is an altered envelope. It's a fun pink polka dot envelope, and it is filled with little tiny journal cards made from Richard Scarry books and other things. There's 3 slots here. They are reinforced with washi tape, and there's also these little botanical and bird stamps and little fun tags and labels and things like that. You can use the ephemera throughout the journal, or you can leave it there and write things on it. In behind we have a secret pocket with this really cute journal card made from a vintage children's book. On this side we have a Grey's Anatomy index page, and on top of it is some fun cabbage dyed parchment paper. This is some avocado dyed ledger paper with vintage fabric stitched down here. This is a little cluster that's fabric, paper, and stitching with a beetle, and it has a tab up top that says Wonder. And then this little label that's been coffee dyed with a doily on it, and this is orange construction paper. We have a children's book page here that flips out, and then a book page pocket, some fun leafy paper behind, and this is a sample tag of some fabrics that match the children's book page image, and it's stitched down. This is an altered paper bag page. We have this fun wax seal here, and then you can flip this open for more writing space. There's 2 pieces of matching stationery that have the same paper for a more firm backing to put it in the pocket, and then a little bit more writing space at the bottom here. This side's been acrylic sprayed with more of the flowers from the previous page. This is college roll paper with 1970s yearbook images. This is a journal card I made from the yearbook. And then we have this lovely quail here on this altered envelope that has botanicals, and it flips out this way, and you'll see a mushroom stamp, the Seven of Swords tarot card, and some collaging. Inside we have this bird field guide journal card. And then here we have a very old little index page that I've stitched on to make a little pocket on the black walnut dyed paper. And inside we have this vintage authentic photo of this woman and this child on this old car. 1939, Margaret is 7 years old, and her mom, Nanny. This is a folk art style cow wallpaper applique. And this is some of my blue watery paper with this Benjamin Bullfrog or Jeremiah Bullfrog from Beatrix Potter. This is a waterfall of little scrap papers, and this is a a botanical calendar. This is a vintage children's book page. It is from this really lovely old children's book called Patsy Twins and Pan. And I've stitched a doily up top here with a little wooden butterfly button. And this is another image from the book at the center. That's little Pan. And there he is again. And then more of the botanical calendar and the scrapbook paper waterfall. This is watery paper with this fabric tab, fabric collage with a butterfly here. This is black walnut dyed paper with a fabric stamp. And then this is a vintage book cover pocket. It says an apple tree bends in the yellow clocking of the sun. And then these are pieces of paint chip, and this is a card that says no. These are children's learning cards. All of these are blank on the back for writing space. And then we have another mushroom stamp. This is a bit of art of the bluffs in Toronto, and this is just nice art on a greeting card. More of the college roll paper, and one of my breakup tags. So this is a couple that I cut out of the vintage yearbook, and then I purposely cut it apart and stitched it back together, writing space on the back. This is like an editor's proof of yearbook image, and I cut this out of the old yearbook, and it says, oops, sorry about your foot, and they're like kind of almost running over her foot with a snowmobile. This is more of the altered paper bag, and it has some more of that same paper and some spraying, and a piece of stationery on the inside. More of the altered paper bag and paper, a little tab here, and more writing space on cabbage dyed paper. This is orange construction paper with 2 vintage fabric collage tabs. This is avocado dyed ledger paper. It says fell in love. And this flips open for more space, and this is a tuck spot made from a vintage DIY book, and a fish hiding behind there. This is a field guide birds tag with some lace at the bottom and packaging paper. Then we have a tarot card tuck spot of the 5 of materials, and then this tag is made from that same vintage children's book. That's the little Pan, the dog, and it's on Grey's Anatomy paper. And then on this side we have this large journal card clipped on here. It says, I see the moon and the moon sees me. And it's got this butterfly, and it's got coffee dyed paper on the back. This is black walnut dyed paper with vintage book page collage down on top of it. And then we have this little notebook, a scrap notebook with some ribbon and a vintage button and some fun handmade paper. This is an audience tag here. Has writing space back and front. This is Charlie Chaplin, and this is just from an old vintage book, and it goes in this pocket. And then more of the children's book page. Stenciling, some vintage fabric tab, and then this little pocket, And this is a vintage CB card from Lady Scorpion of San Diego, California. All her details on the back. These are from the 70s. People used to use CB radios to communicate. This is lace, a lace side pocket on the decoupage napkin. And this is the Post Office, American Legion, and YWCA, Wheeling, West Virginia. It's a vintage postcard, and this one has not been written on. And then over here we have an altered paper clip of this flower. And then this is a collaged journal card. It says, "Beauty in the wood, sing like a nightingale, out of the fire flew a beautiful bird, enchantment had come." And it is coffee dyed with this fun pattern on the back. And then back here we have another bureau style pocket, and I've just added this fun Japanese postcard inside. And that is the end of this journal. And to close it, you just pop your seam binding back up over the top and then give both sides a little tug and go ahead and tie it closed again. So this journal, if you're seeing this video, is in my Etsy shop, and it will be accompanied by a few more. I will have a total, I think, of about 12 of these for this upcoming summer season. These are perfect for taking on a little trip with you if you're going on a little trip. They're great for sort of collecting the things that you might pick up, paper ephemera and your pictures and your writing about your days. It's a perfect little small journal to take along with you on a little trip. So thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you again very soon.